Hello, good morning children. In last video we started our fifth lesson, the fascinating world of birds. So today we start the remaining lesson in our video number 2nd. Before starting the lesson, I will tell the what we learned in a first video. So I will recapitulate the video number 1. So children, in the fifth lesson, in first video, first of all, we learned about the food and shelter of birds. Means what is the food of the birds? Some birds can eat fruits, some can eat insect, and some can eat both. Means some are herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. Now the birds build their own nest to lay, protect and hatch their eggs. Then some birds are useful, like hen gives us eggs and chicken, and some birds like pigeon and crow, these are harmful birds. Then third one, we learned about that the birds which cannot fly, these birds are called as a flightless birds. For example, penguin, emu and ostrich. Then birds have certain features, like birds have hollow bones, they have a streamlined body. Because of that they can fly easily. After that we learned about the features of birds, feathers of birds. Means birds cover their all body by feathers. So feathers keeps the bird's body warm. Got na? Feathers keeps the bird's body warm. There are the 4 types of feather. The first one is a down feather. The down feather is a small and fluffy. It can covers the bird's body and it keep the bird's body warm. Second, we learned the body feathers. The body feather is also called as a counter feather. Means counter feather is called as a body feather. Body feathers are bigger than down feathers, and these body feathers are very useful. Then third, we learned about the flight feather. The third type of a feather, it is a flight feather, and the flight feathers are present especially on wings, and it is very useful to fly. And the last one is the tail feather. The tail feather is also long one, and it can help the birds to slow down. It works like a brake. Means when the birds want to stop flying, at that time tail feathers are very useful. Now the next, the thin looking ostrich is actually a very strong bird. It fights with its legs. Kiwi birds cannot see properly even in a full daylight, so they mostly hunt by smell. Mockingbirds are imitate many sounds, from squeaking door to a cat mewing. Now children, I will explain this para. This para is about the amazing facts of birds. Now listen. The first one is the mockingbird. The mockingbirds are belong to a family Mimidae. These birds can emit different sounds of birds also, and sound like knocking door, and it can emit cat sound, dog sound. That's why the bird is called as a mockingbird. Then ostrich, see the ostrich, it is a very big bird and it is a flightless, but it can run very fast. Ostrich can run very fast, children. So it is the ostrich speciality. Then next one is the kiwi bird. The kiwi bird is also flightless bird, and the kiwi bird is it cannot see properly at daylight also. It can hunt by smell. So kiwi bird is a nocturnal bird because it can't see properly. Now the next one, listen. First of all, open the textbook and see which part I will read. Observe a bird closely and then look at the figure shown below. Here are the main parts of the body of a bird. Beaks, feet and claws are very important parts of a bird's body. Beaks help them to catch, hold and eat their food. The feet and claws are very useful in perching on trees and protecting themselves too. So children, whatever I read now, at that time you open your textbook and you can see which part I will read. Obviously, birds are very different from human and other animals also. They have a different body parts. Now children, you can see in the picture. Bird has a beak, throat, breast, feet, claws, and the wing feathers, tail feathers. Now, children, beak first of all. Beak is a type of a mouth in which the jaws are converted into beak. Beaks means converted jaws. These are the jaws converted into beak. Then next one is the abdomen. The abdomen means what? The belly. The next one is the breast, the area over the belly and the under the throat. Below the throat, what is the? It is the breast. Now the claws, hand talons at the end of the each toe. Claws means hand talons at the end of the each toe. The tail feathers means what, children? See the tail, there are the tail feathers, the flight feathers at the end of the bird. The next one, toes. Toes means what? The digit of the feet. And the throat, the area under the head and above the chest. So got now, children? What are the bird's body part? Bird's body part, which one? Once again I told. Beak, throat, breast. The next one is the feet, claws, tail feather, wing feather. These are the parts of the bird's body. And the bird's body has a different function. Beak, it is useful to eat the food. Foot and claws, it is useful to capture. Claws are very useful to perch the tree and to can hold the prey. So the bird's body parts are very useful for their food habit also and for their preying habits also. So next part of the lesson I will read first of all and then I will explain. So the next part, that is listen. Different kinds of birds on the basis of beaks. All birds have a beaks. Beaks are made up of hard substance. Do you remember the story of fox and the stork? In the story, the stork could not eat the food served by the fox because it was in a flat bowl. The shape of a bird's beak depend upon the type of a food it eats. Birds with curved beaks. Curved beaks help the birds in eating fruits and cracking hard nuts and seeds quite easily. For example, parrot. Now children, I will explain this much part. Means here in this part they tell about the what is the use of the beak and the different types of beak. So different birds eat different kinds of food. Birds eat grains, fruits, seeds, insects and fish and other small animals also. Birds have beaks and claws to catch and hold and eat their food. Means birds do not have teeth. They have either swallow the food or they can use their beaks to break and tear the food into small pieces before swallowing or before eating. The shape of the beak depends on the kinds of the food they eat. So there are the different types of claws also and beaks also. Now we discussed first of all the different types of beak. So there are the 7 types of beak, children. So one by one I will read the para and then explain about the beaks. The first beak is a curved beak. The first type of a beak, it is a curved beak, children. So this type of a beak is present in parrot and the beak is a very curved one, and by using that curved beak the parrot can crack the nuts and hard seeds and to tear the fruits also. Then the next para I will read here. Birds with crushing beaks. Birds with such beaks find it easy to crush grains, nuts and seeds. For example, pigeons, sparrow, bulbul and quail. So crushing beak. The second type of a beak, it is a crushing. Now listen. A crushing beak is a short and hard beak. It helps the birds for crushing the seeds and grains. And this type beak is present in sparrow and pigeon. It has a crushing beak. Sparrow and pigeon, these two birds can crush the grains, they can crush the rice, they can crush the wheat, because these are the grains, they eat the grains. Now next one, birds with peering and tearing beaks. Tearing beaks help birds who hunt small animals to pierce their prey and tear its flesh. Tearing beaks are hard, sharp and hook-shaped. For example, eagles, hawks, kites and vulture. So the second type of a beak, third type of a beak, it is the peering and tearing beak. So the peering or tearing means what? Tearing beaks are sharp hook-shaped beaks for peering prey or tearing of fur, skin and feathers, and tearing meat into manageable, too easy to swallow the chunks. These birds have a very sharp beak, curved hook-shaped beak. By using that beak, they can tear the food. And these birds are especially carnivorous or omnivorous birds. They can eat the other animals or both. Now the next one. Birds with shifting or straining beaks. Some birds have beaks that are broad and flat with small holes on both sides. They are called as a shifting or straining beaks. Birds like swallows and ducks pick out small fish and insects near ponds and streams. The mud and water that comes along with it is pushed out through the holes like a sieve, leaving the food behind. For example, ducks and swallows. So children, when I read now, at that time you also open the textbook and read. Now the fourth beak, it is a shifting or straining beak. So now listen, shifting means what? These are the elongated flat beaks with a holes on both sides, and it has this type of a beak is present in duck and swallower. Means shifting or straining beak, it is present in a swimming birds. For example, duck and swallowers. You can see the duck and swallower has a flat and broad beak which has a small holes on both sides, and it can sift food from mud and water, because this type of a beak is work like a sieve. You know na sieve. See that duck can, when the duck can eat the fish, along the fish some grass, some mud particles are come, and through the holes these are sieved or these are thrown away, and only fish can remain inside the beak. Then the next one, birds with long and slender beaks. Some birds have long and slender beaks to suck nectar from flowers. Their beak is called a probing beak because it helps the birds to probe or look for nectar or insect inside flowers. For example, hummingbirds. Now the fifth type of a beak, it is a long and slender beak. And this type of a beak, it is a present in sunbird and hooper. Sunbird means hummingbird children. And this type of a beak, it is a very long and slender one. And the hummingbird can suck the nectar from flower by using the long and slender beak. That's why the beak, because this beak is in search of a food, that's why the beak is called as a probing beak. Got now children, why the beak is called as a probing beak? Because by using the beak, the bird can find their food. See the hummingbird beak, how it is long and slender one. By using that, they can catch the nectar which is inside the flower. Now the next para. Birds with chiseling beaks. Such birds have a strong, strange but long chiseling beaks. They use it to make holes in trees to get bugs. For example, woodpecker. So children, I will explain this one. The sixth beak is a chiseling beak. Now listen, what is the chiseling beak? Chiseling beaks are sturdy, pointed beaks that allow them to chisel into wood and bark. And this type beak is a woodpecker. See, the woodpecker can make the holes in a tree trunk by using their long and chiseling beak. And And the woodpecker also has a very long one tongue which is kept inside their head. And you got now, chiseling beak means what? It is a long slender. By using that they can make hole inside the tree trunk and get the bugs which are present inside the tree trunk. So it is the sixth one, beak, chiseling beak. By using that chiseling beak, the woodpecker can make the hole inside the tree trunk. Now the next one, soft and broad beaks. Birds having such a soft and broad beaks fly in the air with their beaks open to catch the flying insect to eat. For example, swallow. The seventh one beak is a soft and broad beak. This type of a beak, it is present in a swallow birds. Which birds? Swallow birds. And this beak, it has a soft and broad one. And the swallow birds is also called as a bird of freedom, means they can fly everywhere. It is found in almost every region of the world with a temperate climate. Now got na? Soft and broad beak is present in swallow bird. Now the remaining lesson I will tell in the next video. Now I will tell what is the summary of the video number 2, children. So first of all, children, we learned some amazing birds, means kiwi bird. It cannot see in a daylight. It is a nocturnal bird. Then mockingbird, which can emit the various types of a sound. That's why it is called as a mockingbird. And the ostrich, it is a flightless bird. It is a heavier bird, but it can run very fast. Then next one, we discussed about the different parts of a bird's body. Means bird has a beak, then throat, breast, wing feather, tail feather, foot and claws. Here the beak is a part of a jaw. Then the next we discuss their different types of beaks. The first type of a beak, it is a curved beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in parrots, and by using that beak they can crack the hard nuts and fruits. The second type we discussed, that is the crushing beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in a sparrow and pigeon. By using that crushing beaks, they can crush the grains like rice, wheat. They can crush these grains. Next one, it is the peering and tearing beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in eagle, vulture and kite. And it is a very sharp one and hook shaped beak. By using that beak, they can tear the prey. Then the next one is the sifting and straining beak. This type of a beak, it is present in duck and swallower. And this beak is a very flat and broad one, having holes on both sides, which work like a sieve. That holes, the beak is a work like a sieve. Then the next we discussed about the long and slender beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in hummingbird. And by using that beak, they can suck the nectar. Then the next beak we discussed about the chiseling beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in woodpeckers. And it is also long one, but it is a sharp one. By using that beak, the woodpecker can make the hole in a tree trunk. And it is useful to catch the insect inside the tree trunk. Now the last beak we discussed about the soft and broad beaks. This type of a beak, it is present in swallow birds, and these swallow birds are found everywhere. And the swallow bird, when they fly, at that time they can catch the insect also. So children, up to here we discussed the lesson. The remaining part of this lesson we will discuss in our next video. Up to there, thank you children.